I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. We are living through unprecedented times with a global pandemic now approaching its third year. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. See if you qualify. Please visit. Call 313-388-9799 or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
Well, good morning. I'd like to wish everyone a happy, this is Friday, a happy 4 days later after the midterm election. If you're looking for the weekly broadcast of the Ask Welfare Rights broadcast, you have found us. And I'm saying us, even though I'm flying solo today. Marion is not here, taking a little time off to see how she feels. And we're going to go through this project and this program today and do a couple of updates about some things that have happened since the election. Let's start off with the housekeeping things that you need to know. If you're trying to reach the weekly broadcast of Ask Welfare Rights, you have found us. And call us at, I won't forget. And call us in if you want to give us some information or share some details. Call-in numbers, area code 313-868-0342, 868-0351, or 868-4336. If you're on your internet, the website is www.tv33whpr.com. That's www.tv33whpr.com. The regular numbers, telephone numbers, are at the bottom of your screen. So again, you have something to share and whatnot. And my engineer just reminded me, I knew this and I know you did too, November the 11th, 1918. Is it 1919? I think it's 1918. That's wrong. Might be 1921. It's when World War I ended. And the Allied troops pulled all themselves together, the Allied nations, and declared this Veterans Day. A lot of people still call it Armistice Day, but most people refer to it as Veterans Day. There are a number of parades and ceremonies and whatnot. There's always a big one out at Elmwood Cemetery. I may go out there today at noon. At noon today, and the ceremony to honor fallen soldiers. And at Elmwood Cemetery, which is there at Elmwood between Lafayette and Verner, they have soldiers who are buried there from the Civil War. So ceremonies and recollections and remembrances and reminiscings of soldiers who passed, soldiers who lived and died of an old age but fought to keep us free. Lots of things going on. I had a veteran that called me last night and asked me about turkeys for veterans. And I'm going to look up some of that if I can find anything and have him call down to Welfare Rights and see what we might be able to find. The WACS, the Women's Auxiliary Corps, WAC, or is it WAX? WAC. Is a women's unit of military. And in my family, Barbara Jean was the first girl in our family. We had men that were in all branches of the Army, coming out of World War II, coming out of Korea, coming out of Vietnam. But she was the first female in my family that went to the WACS, the Army Corps for Women. I think it was attached to the Army. I have to look this stuff up. I don't remember it. But she was there and came out unscathed, got married, had a family. She's a grandmother now, and gets a veteran's pension. And I thought, what a wonderful idea. What a wonderful idea. She was part of a group that was not integrated at the time, and that would have been in Korea. And even though integration in armed services started in World War II with Truman, but she was in a female unit, and it took a little while for the integration aspect to trickle down to where she was serving. So happy Veterans Day, cousin Barbara Jean. We call her Poochie. Always a name, always a nickname, and you have to try to remember what are the real names of these people that are in your family, because her real name was not Poochie, Barbara Jean. All right. A number of people are calling us down at Welfare Rights about a lot of different things. So I'm going to start the program today, even though I'm going to give some highlights of the election. Wayne Metro continues to call at Welfare Rights to say we have resources, and people are not calling us to get those resources, and would you help us to spread the word? So if you're having trouble with a light bill, a gas bill, a delinquent water bill, delinquent property taxes, you just saw our treasurer, Eric Sabri, on TV asking people to get involved, contact these programs, fill out the applications, they'll fill it out for you to see how much and if you are eligible for help with those things, a light bill, a gas bill, a water bill, property taxes. People are still passing away with COVID. And there's money through Wayne Metro to help pay for burial. And that means the casket, the embalming, the cemetery plot, the services, and they'll pay up to $9,000. I don't know why there's money still available. Detroit, certainly Wayne County, was one of the worst places hit by COVID. So folks are, I know, it's sad and miserable and not able to think clearly. So folks should be contacting Wayne Metro to find out about resources and get some of those resources that are available to help with the burial cost. And for the burial, it's my allergies, for the burial activity, they will pay up to $9,000. Now you have to have a death certificate that indicates this person passed away due to complications of COVID. But there's so many. 12,500 average every week are new infections in just Michigan. 12,500 every week. And about 152 citizens in Michigan pass away every day. I was going to say every week, every day, okay, due to complications of COVID. So those numbers should be dialed, 313-388-9799, 313-388-9799. Please call Wayne Metro and make some inquiries to see if you are available and eligible for some of the resources that the American Rescue Act has put there to help us. Caller, you are the first caller of the day, and good morning and welcome to Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you are on the air. Go ahead.
Okay, give me that number again. Is it 388?
388-9799.
Oh, okay, got it. Because I got a sister, young girl with two boys. The landlord decided he didn't want her no more, got her out. When she left, I think the water bill was probably about $4,000. She's been on the American Rescue list, supposedly, and she's still asking me what happened. Nobody's helping her. So now she's out of the house, her and the boys living wherever they can, help of family members, family members and friends. That's what she's holding on to right now.
Now, she should be doing two things. She should be calling us down at Welfare Rights because she may need some advocacy. Anybody with a $4,000 water bill, it's more to it than just not being able to pay the bill. Something else happened to put her so far behind. So she should be calling us. Well, she should be calling us at Welfare Rights, 313-964-0618.
Oh, okay. What hours are you guys down there?
There's no telling. We don't have set
Okay.
hours
So
because
we
we
can leave
still
a
have.
message.
Well, she can call right now, and
Oh, okay,
leave
Coolio.
her name and her number.
Okay.
Leave the
Uh-huh.
number twice, and we're real good about calling back within one day.
Okay, and hopefully you guys can get her more help with this American Rescue funds because she's been on the list and there's no help reached out to her yet.
Well, see, what you're talking about, American Rescue dollars are up here, and then
Okay.
those dollars filter down to the SARA program.
Right.
COVID emergency relief assistance. The SARA program ended a month and a half ago, but there are
Right.
people who were left waiting on that list that
Yes.
never got a call back, and welfare rights can help with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for taking my call. Good seeing you. You still looking good.
And thank you
Tell
very much.
Marion I send my love.
Hey, I got my
Sylvia.
hair cut the other day, boy, and I needed it cut even shorter. I'm out in the field again. Okay. All right. I'm so glad to
You
hear your
looking good.
voice.
Hey, give Marion my love. Send my love to her. And I be at the gym down there at the Y, and I see y'all minister. He be down there working out too.
That I tell you, that pastor, he need to be down there working out more than anybody. All
He
right.
be working out too, 'cause I be seeing them. I be like, hey, I know you from Welfare Rights.
That's right. That's right. He be down there working out. Caller, I'm so
He
glad.
be working out, baby.
I'll be glad to hear your voice. Okay.
Thank you, baby. Bye.
All right. Bye. 868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. Caller, you are on the air. Thank you for waiting and thank you for calling. Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you on the air. Caller, you on the air. Caller, you on the air.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Big Grand Rising, Highland Park.
All right, Grand Rising. I was hoping you would give us a call today so you could give us some updates about election aftermath in Highland Park. You all are not online yet. No
we got
information.
some unofficial report.
Okay, unofficial report. All right, go ahead, Grand Rising. What were the election outcomes in the election activities in Highland Park? Tell us.
Well, the official results, for all Highland Park write-in candidates will be issued by the Wayne County Board of Canvassers. Because we had a heap full of write-ins, okay?
Okay.
But for mayor, Glenda McDonald was on the ballot, and she is a winner.
All righty, Miss McDonald won as the mayor of Highland Park.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, we'll say what they used to say on D.L. Hughley. We'll give her the clap. Okay.
Who is also on the ballot for the judge of the District Court 30, Bridget Officer Holly. She's back on.
Bridget Officer who?
Holly.
What, she got married?
Again, yeah, this is her third marriage,
Oh,
and I was
Lord.
seasoned with her one day. I said, I feel you. You just going to keep on doing it till you get it right.
My
huh? She
goodness,
said,
I'm getting ready to
"That's the
say,
plan."
I know Judge Bridget Officer, and I knew husband number 1 and half of husband number 2, so we on husband number 3 now.
Number 3.
You go, girl. All right, Bridget Officer, she is a fine woman. She is
Yes,
an
she is.
outstanding civil and civic supporter and a real worker in the community. So we're going to give Judge Officer the clap.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For the clerk, because they were write-ins, there is no unresolved write-in count yet.
So no official name for the Highland Park clerk yet.
And the treasurers as well. That was a
Ooh.
write-in election,
Okay.
a write-in ballot.
So
So
a
there's
number
no
of people.
unofficial write-ins for that has been determined
All right,
yet.
so a number of write-ins were issued for both the clerk and for the treasurer, and
Yes.
that information is still being processed.
Still being processed. It will probably take maybe a week or so. you know.
Goodness. Okay. All righty.
Now, on the ballot for the city council at large,
City Council
he
at
was on the
large.
ballot, Jamal Kareem Thomas.
All
He's
right.
a winner.
All right, Mr. Thomas is a winner. Do you see how many votes he got?
Yes, I do. He received 2,203.
Okay, all righty. So go ahead. That's good.
Yeah. Okay, I made a mistake. He received 1,448. There's still there's still 735 write-ins, okay?
There's 700 write-ins, and the candidate that
785 unresolved write-ins.
and the person that won got 1,400.
Yes, he did.
My
Yes.
goodness. So an additional third wasn't sure. Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
For City Council District 1, well, it's unresolved write-ins. We don't know who is going to be on our council. That's my district in District 1.
Okay, so there was no candidate listed on the ballot for that.
None on the ballot.
Wow. Okay, so nobody ran a number of write-ins.
Yes, ma'am. A
Okay,
write-in.
got it. All right, the District 1 is still being processed.
City Council District 2, one young lady was on the ballot, Kalia Martin. She won by 725 votes,
Okay.
and there are 191 unresolved write-ins.
All right, so 725 votes, another additional 100 that are write-ins that are still being processed. But she was the only candidate?
The only one on the ballot.
Wow, okay.
City Council District 3 for Highland Park.
Go ahead.
The candidate, my brother from another mother, Kashid Ashafi. He's a winner with 341 votes and 84 unresolved write-ins.
Okay, so the 300 plus votes for district number 3. Okay, and that person was running unopposed.
Well, there were write-ins, but we don't have the results yet.
But nobody else on the ballot.
He was the only one again
Okay.
on the ballot.
Okay, got it. Okay. My goodness,
Now,
go ahead.
let's talk about school board, Highland Park school board members.
School board in Highland Park. Go ahead.
Your girl, Grand Rising, Linda G. Wheeler, came in with 1,362.
Okay.
Doris Harris, 1,122.
Okay.
Janet Spite White, 1,119. And where's she at? Oh, Cheryl Sanford at 1,095. I'm sorry.
1,095.
And Evan Morales came in with 653.
Okay, Morales.
So you had to vote for 4 because I was running for re-election. Janet Spite White was running for re-election, and Cheryl Sanford was running for re-election. The new member is Doris Harris.
Okay.
Huh?
George Harris. That's his first name, George?
Dolores.
Oh, Dolores. It's
Doris
a lady.
Harris.
It's a lady. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So we've got, my goodness, the number of people that voted. Let me see here. How do I say this? Mr. Thomas got 1,448 votes. He got slightly more than you, and almost everybody else that was running for office other than the school board were getting at least they collected fewer than 1,000 votes. What's the how many registered voters are there in Highland Park? Do we know?
Supposed to be 8,000.
My goodness.
8,021.
All right, well, 8,021. We had a 44% turnout, 44% plus of the voters that are eligible in Detroit turned out. So that's a higher number than what we've had in a long time, 44 point some
big
percent.
number. You know, the couple days before, the news was saying that the black vote is 70% down. I don't believe them.
Well, you can't, you know, the poll people said a lot of things. Republicans were going to run the room. and they had all of these predictions and whatnot, and it turns out that almost every one of their predictions was wrong. So you are right to be, a little skeptical about that kind of information. So yeah.
May I
Yeah.
say something without being bragging, though, Maureen?
Go right ahead. Nothing wrong with
Although
bragging.
you did determine that Kareem Thomas, who's running for at large, had more votes than me,
Just a few.
Maureen, I didn't even campaign.
Well, you're well known in the community, and whenever I take Marion home and we come down one of those side streets, when we get to a certain corner, it says Wheelers. Okay.
Wheeler's Way.
You see, so that's all right. You're well known in the community, so you didn't have to tell people and ask them to vote for you. They already knew what to do. Okay.
Yeah, I've been on the board since 2014, and so my whole main, attitude was, you know what, I'm going to run, and what happens, what happens.
Okay. All righty. Well, now, were those the primary activities in terms of the vote that Highland Parkers needed to address?
Yes,
Okay.
we needed to know, but there's still some,
Unresolved.
unresolved write-in that's important for district, for the other candidates as well. We just gotta wait. But I think it was a fair election.
Okay.
People were at the polls, showing up and showing out and voting.
Okay. No, it was a good thing.
Yes, it was.
It was a good thing to see this. So Highland Parkers came and
Yes, they
voted
did.
and turned in absentee ballots. So okay, that's good. That's good. All right.
So we are anticipating our new mayor and new legislative branch to get on the ground with the boots running, because there's a lot of work, as you know, to continue, to finish, to progress in Highland Park. We're coming a long way. There's so much development coming up now, and housing is being developed, and businesses and commerce is that, Highland Park is going to look, in 3-4 years, it's going to not even look like it does now.
It's gonna take on a new look.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, good, and congratulations, Madam Grand Rising.
I thank you.
These officers. Let's see. This is November. These officers take their seats in January.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, you got about 2 months to get yourself together before you walk
Sure do. We get our
into
school
the
board meeting
file.
Thursday, because usually we do it on Tuesdays, but the election. And our conversation is building a high school
Wow. Okay.
in Highland Park.
I
Yeah,
love
so
it. I love it. Okay.
We've got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're ready. We're
I
ready.
think you all are up for the charge.
The mission is children first.
Sounds like a plan. It can happen. Okay.
And by the way, you look very beautiful in those colors too.
Thank you. This is my Purple Day, Veterans Day, Friday.
Oh, mentioning Veterans Day, our new elected mayor, Glenda McDonald, is giving all veterans today at Cakes and Shakes. It's a wonderful restaurant that does corned beef and pastrami and roast beef. She's giving all veterans free meals today, and that opens at 11 a.m. That's at 13806 Woodward Avenue in beautiful Highland Park.
Okay, now is this for Highland Park residents?
Veterans.
Veterans, but they have to live in Highland Park.
I didn't hear that. If they must be Highland Parkers, I just heard vets.
Okay, well, veterans, go to 13806 Woodward. There's a restaurant there, and the new mayor-elect, Glenda McDonald, is footing the bill for a
Yes, she
free
is.
meal for veterans. So I'm assuming, Madam Grand Rising, that veterans have to bring some kind of an ID to
Sure,
demonstrate
because,
that they're a veteran.
Yeah, because you may have, it's about serving the military forces. I know we all can say we're veterans in one way or another.
Here. And some of your cousins may actually show up with that line. Okay? Some
You know
might.
They will.
Some might. So a caution and concern are advised. Okay. Okay. All right, Madam Grand Rising. What else do we need to know about Highland Park? Anything else we need to know about today?
COVID. It
What
has
about
not
that
gone
doggone
away.
COVID? Yeah.
It has not gone away.
I keep telling folks, yep. Yep,
It
yep,
has
yep.
not gone away.
So today is the day between 9 and 3 you can go
That's
get
right.
COVID tested and
right.
and get a COVID shot and
That's
a
right.
booster shot. And as you have explained to us, Tim, you got some more water up in there? Yeah, boy. Me and these allergies, I may drink some and pour some on my head. We'll see. You know, but the opportunity, and thank you so much, sir. Thank you. The opportunity to get a shot. I don't know what it is. We've got folks, babies in the hospital all across the country and in all throughout Michigan. That the babies are there with that upper respiratory condition. I think
Right.
we've lost one. We may have lost 2 babies already.
Aw.
You know, and we're talking about not a mild case. We're talking about babies that have gone to the children's hospital and not come home. So this is something to be dealt with, something that's very serious. So you are right, Madam Grand Rising. Thank you for reminding us again. COVID is not
COVID.
over.
It's not over. And we're going to see this for quite a few number of years. I don't have a prediction, but all I'm asking you is to get immunized, get your vaccinations, get your booster shots. Come on, people.
I agree. And if you're
I
not
just
going
got
to
a
do
text
that,
message that cakes and shakes, it's only for Highland Park veterans.
okay.
Yeah.
Highland Park veterans, you have to bring some ID, something that
Right.
indicates you're a veteran, and you have to bring some ID to indicate that you live in Highland Park. So that's
right.
at 13806 Woodward. And what time does that start again?
It opens at 11.
Okay. All
And may
right.
I say, they make each sandwich with love.
Okay.
Ooh.
All
it's
I
kinda
would
hot,
be,
too.
all I would be interested in is that they make each sandwich with mustard. So if you get some love, then that's extra. That's a little bit gravy on the deal. I love it. All right. Well, okay, Madam Grand Rising. Thank you as always for an updated and clear
You're welcome.
report. We thank you very much for it.
You're welcome.
We will be back. I keep saying we be back next Friday. We will anticipate another report from you, Madam Grand Rising, to keep us abreast of what's going
you
on in
got me.
Highland
You
Park.
can't get rid of me, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And
Love
thank you very much. I accept that. I love you back. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you now. All righty. 868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. Now, the door, that's that candy. It sure is good, too. That peppermint. The door is open in Michigan for the next 4 years for a number of things. Here's what I mean. In Michigan, we ran the table. Okay, we ran the table. And all of the national television programs are talking about what happened in Michigan and how they didn't see it coming. They never see it coming, and that's okay with me. You don't have to know everything. So the governor, and I'm going to give the numbers, and these are this is let me see, is this one? This is Wayne County. Already, Kathy Garrett is the clerk of Wayne County. Kathy Garrett is wonderful. And here are the numbers. Let's see here. 1,067 precincts reporting. So that's 45 out of 80 precincts. 45 out of 80 precincts. Alrighty, Democratic Party. A lot of people voted straight party ticket. And let's see here. 73% of the people that voted in Michigan are Democrats. 73%. 25% of those people who voted, this is not eligible voters, but those who actually took the time to vote, 25% are Republican. So 73% Democratic, Democrats and 25% Republican. There's something called the Libertarian Party. They represent 0.4. There's something called the U.S. Taxpayers Party. Let's see, 23%. Let's see. Working Class Party. That was a new one on me. All right, the Working Class Party, some folks voted straight party ticket, and they're about 0.5% of all of the eligible voters. That's the group 0.5. The Green Party, well known throughout Michigan, 0.17%, and the Natural Law Party, 0.1%. So they're fairly new, and maybe not. Looks like I have heard of them in the past, but the Natural Law Party took in 434 votes. 434 votes. So everybody had a choice. Everybody had somewhere to go and something to do. Now, Mayor Gretchen Whitmer and Garland Gilchrist, Democrats, mayor, gubernatorial hopefuls. The governor got 71% of the vote, 457,064. All right, 457,064 people voted for her. And I can't say that they were all Democrats because they may not have been. All right? Tudor Dixon, who says it is an interesting thing to demonstrate to a 14-year-old who was assaulted by a family member and impregnated that 14-year-old can get a good experience about what it means to be a mom. It's the craziest thing I ever heard. Tudor Dixon and her sidekick Shane Hernandez, they garnered 28% of the vote, and while Whitmer got 457,000 votes, Tudor Dixon got 180,000, so about a third. All right, then there's some other folks that were running for mayor, and I saw them. I didn't know any of these names. Mary Bazuma, Donna Bradenberg, didn't know those folks. Kevin Hogan was running with Destiny Clayton, they're from the Green Party. Darrell Simpson from the Natural Law Party. Haven't heard of those folks. 868-0342, 868-0351, 868-4336. And now here comes the Secretary of State. And this one was of interest to me because the lady that was running against her, Christina Elaine Caramo, lives in Oakland Park. She's a Republican. And she's been on TV very vigorously right up until the date of the election and including Tuesday. She's one of the election deniers. The 2020 results were not true. There was a lot of problems in the electing mechanism, in the process, in the steps. And she's still raising a question about some precincts called in to talk about a malfunctioning device. And they were told what to do, or somebody went out there, the mechanic, whatever, and fixed it. So folks that may have encountered a problem of voting directly encountered something that lasted an hour or less. So Caramo is talking about that is a fix. That's where the scam and the lie takes place, even though her followers and supporters were there and invited to stand next to the machines and watch them. So, you know, that election denier group. Jocelyn Benson, Secretary of State, this is her second term. She won 71% of the vote. And Christina Caramo garnered 25, almost 26% of the vote. And then after that, you had Gregory Scott Stemfield, Christina Swartz, Larry James Hutchinson. This sounds like a movie star. You know, Dracula, starring Larry James Hutchinson, whatever. And There were a number of write-ins for the Secretary of State that added up to 11% of the vote. So the total number of votes for the Secretary of State position is 638,786. That's the total number. All right, 638,000 total number. 645,000 is the total number of people that voted for the governor. Okay? All right, Attorney General Dana Nessel, in there holding down the people's work and our will and whatnot. She garnered 69.4% of the vote, and that guy she was running against that apparently had been fined for fighting in the courtroom, the checkered past, all kinds of little things. So Matthew DePerno was the Republican, and he got 28.39% of the vote. So Dana Nessel, 439,000, and the total number of votes that she got with all the different parties is 633,192 votes for the state of Michigan. That's powerful. Where's my document that says, all right, voter turnout. Our voter turnout was 45%. 45%. We haven't had a voter turnout with larger numbers in a long time. So 45% of those people that were eligible to vote, they did vote. So, all right, Attorney General Dana Nessel, she got 69.4% of the vote. That comes to 439,000 people voted for Dana Nessel, and for this other guy, 179,753, Mr. Paterno. And then you have the Libertarian Party, the Gerald Van Sickle, U.S. taxpayers, and everything else was right in. Board of Education. Now, the Board of Education was mentioned and explained several times over the last several weeks, several months, by Madam Grand Rising. Pamela Pugh, the Democratic candidate, got 33.9% of the vote. Mitchell Robinson, also with the Democrats, 32.75%. And then the numbers go down from there. Caratoni is the Republican that is getting himself prepared to create mischief, I'm sure. Create mischief of some sort. And that's around his laws. And he was one of the ones floating and goading that there would be no trouble. All right, University of Michigan Board of Regents. Michael Bam and Kathy White were the two Democratic candidates, and they came in at 33.4% toward 100%. And I thought what was interesting here, Mike Bem, I don't know who he is, Madam Grand Rising gave us some information before, vote for someone that may be from a party that appears to be progressive. So Michael Bem and Kathy White were the two Democratic candidates. And what I thought was interesting is that Karen White got more votes than Michael Bem. Just a few more votes, but people felt more enamored in her direction. Let's see if there's anything else here. The proposals. Now, maybe somebody will call in. Water break. Ooh, I took these allergy pills, and boy, they're working on my nose, but not fast enough. The proposal number 1, I thought was in some trouble. Some of the signs, lawn signs I saw when I was driving around, I thought that was the one that was going to give people the hardest amount of time. And that's the one where people can run for office that can serve 8 years, but now you can serve 12 years, and what that requires is ongoing financial background information, and it's some other pieces in there. But all three, that's the one. Number 2, proposal number 2, was about securing the right to vote. And all of these rules that say you have to stay 6 feet from the polling site, with polling and kicker cards. Some of those rules have been relaxed. The point is supposed to be, let's try to find a way to get more people registered and get them to the place to vote. And it passed. And of course, number 3 was the elephant in the room. And point number 3, proposal number 3, was to codify. That word means to insert permanently a new set of words to achieve a certain outcome. And these young people that organized in Kansas City, and these young people that organized down in Florida, that's that David Hall group, and the young man that just got elected into the Senate or the House, I forget which one, 25 years old. And he was elected. And the issue there that they brought was that we're tired of this gun violence and we're tired of this environmental violence. Those things have to change. And they were able to get enough people registered and on that bandwagon. So the way the precincts reported out is that almost every Democrat that ran for office won. All right, it was very difficult, very tight in Pennsylvania. Marion and I spoke on this before, Mr. John Fetterman, and how difficult people were making his road because he had a stroke. And the message was, well, if you had a stroke and it impedes some of your cognitive processes, then you can't be a good candidate. You know? So what that kind of thinking led to is that anybody with a disability is just not qualified to run for political office. And we can all see that that information is not true, because we have a whole bunch of people that are exhibiting all manners of crazy that are not deemed as mentally or emotionally impaired. You know, we got one used to be the president, probably more than one. So on the Democratic ticket for member of the Michigan State University Board of Trustees, vote for 1. Alrighty, and there are 2 candidates that were running for this position. I don't know how they're going to deal with that, because if it says vote for 1 and you voted at your house because you got an absentee ballot, then you went to the voting place and then they turned you around and you were trying to figure out, well, I needed to change the date or I needed to change the font size or something. And they said, no, once the ballot is there, unless you want to look at something that you think you made a mistake on, and I don't know what that list is, she was not allowed to go in and make any changes. So that's how that went. And then there's one more page here, and these are these judges. No, I'm wrong. Member of Wayne State University Board of Governors. And here's what they have. Same story. Ooh, okay. Wayne University Board. Let me see if it was the same numbers as. Yeah. All right. Dennis Deno. Need my glasses. Dennis Deno, Denno, was the highest vote getter in the campaign for Michigan State University Board of Trustees. And he got 33.4% of all of the votes. All right. Danielle Atkinson received the lion's share worth of votes for the Wayne State University Board of Governors. And again, her name is Danielle Atkinson, and she got 33.9% of all the votes that were cast, which were equal to 393,605. Yep, 605 candidates, not candidates, but voters voted for her. And then the other one is Marilyn Kelly. Now, Marion and I talked about this one a couple of times. Neither one of us looked it up to see who Marilyn Kelly is. We thought about this name, and racking our brains to try to figure it out. And I think there was that I told Mary, no, I know what the name, what it reminds me of. But what I think is, this is the Marilyn Kelly that used to be with Bill Bonds. And they were news anchors. And I think that was her name, Marilyn Kelly. I don't know if this is the same Marilyn Kelly. I doubt that, because she would have to be in her late 70s by now. But that's where we know the name. So, Marion, if you're listening, that might be why we remembered this name of Marilyn Kelly. So each one of them garnered 33 point something % of the vote, and everyone else is down on the list. There's a Krista Murphy, a Craig Wilshire, Bruce Jaques, Mark Joseph, Sasnowski, Susan Odgers, all of them. And then the write-in participation, very fascinating. 21% of all of the people that voted wrote in a different name. So at least 21% of the people that tried to vote, they were holding their nose, saying, no, we're not going to vote for these people. They did vote for a write-in activity where you could write somebody's name. Boy, that's that's a lot. That is a lot. So I didn't bring any results from Hamtramck, but these are what I just read, and what Grand Rising just shared with us is the information from two. Where's the other piece of paper? From two cities that gave us a lot of information. All right, back to these phone calls that we're getting at the Welfare Rights Office. Wayne Metro, lights, gas, water, delinquent taxes, plumbing. They were putting roofs on, and if you didn't qualify for an entire roof, what you got was a roof patched. And that's Wayne Metro. I've got several members of Welfare Rights that took advantage of this and have already received their roof. Some of them needed a new furnace, a boiler, and we were able to get some of those. So don't wait around. 313-388-9799. That's the number to Wayne Metro. Tell them that you heard about the programs that they have, including, I saw something the other day about home repairs. Now, it might be that they're just doing home repairs for seniors. Water break. All right, but you have to check with Wayne Metro and find out if their home repair program is also accessible for persons who are not elders. 313-388-9799, 9799. Now, some folks, I got a call at the Welfare Rights Office yesterday. Young woman called, said she had been on the SARA list. She was calling it the emergency relief list for almost 4 years. And in that period of time, no one had contacted her, and she was getting further and further behind on water, light, and gas. So she decided, I'm going to pay on the light bill, I'm going to pay on the gas bill, and she would wait for help to come from another source. Well, she's got more than a $4,000 water bill. The water is still on, and she called yesterday to have some discussion about perhaps the Detroit Water and Sewage Department contacting her, or her calling them, to come up with some kind of a resolution for this kind of a nightmare. You got a bill that high. So I gave her that number to Michigan Legal Services, and I'm prepared to share it here. They do what they call pro bono work. That's good work for free. All righty, phone number to Michigan League for Human Services, and they do civil cases. I don't think they do murder cases like criminal cases, but they do traffic infractions, violations of licensing, those kinds of things is what they do. And Michigan Legal Services, 313-964-4130, 964-4130. the number to the United Housing Coalition. Very important group. All they do is identify, search, enterprise pulling cars together that are, houses together and flats that are available for people to move into. They have a focus on low-income assistance, and that's the United Community Housing Coalition. Number there is area code 313-963-3310, 963-3310. Now, always, folks can call down to Welfare Rights and get information and get help from us. If you're a member, we'll help you and walk with you through the process. Welfare Rights number is area code 313-964-0618, 313-964-0618. Now, Welfare Rights is going to close for the season somewhere around the second week in December. And we're not going to open back up again for at least 3 weeks. Thank you much. For at least 3 weeks. So we're going to take probably the second half of December off and the first week for sure, and maybe a couple more days in January. When January of 2023, isn't that something? January of 2023. When that happens, January of 2023, we'll be able to take telephone calls, and you can come in and visit us and explain your problem, and we will tell you the steps you need to take to get a solution. But we will not be able to help you directly, physically, unless you're a member. We're only going to do memberships for the rest of this month, and certainly when we come back, only members of Michigan Welfare Rights can expect to get some help with a $2,000 water bill. And we will make the telephone calls to the water department, speak to Ms. Renee Baker or Mr. Peckinpah or Mr. Brown, or if we have to go to the mayor, we go straight to the mayor and negotiate on your behalf. Okay, we'll do that. So only members, and members means you have to pay your membership dues, and that's $30 for the year. $30 for the year. Whenever you come to Welfare Rights and want to join, and we use the money only to keep the phones on, okay? And that's very important that we keep the phones on, because we got 2 years worth of organizing that we have to do, because there's trouble in the wings. After this election, there's a whole lot of, it used to be that song, a whole lot of shaking going on. It's going to be a whole lot of trouble going on because a lot of Republican candidates that were election deniers did not get their seat. And so the big Democrat, or the big Republican that did get the seat, is already having meltdowns all over the place, already starting. They didn't do anything but lie. That lady named Miss Lake out in Arizona, I think that's where she is, because it's taking so long to count the votes. What she's saying is that it just gives cheaters and liars more time to cheat and lie. Denigrate the system, denigrate the process, and that's what she's talking about. So if you need a mask, if you need light bulbs, we have light bulbs at my school. They come in a box like this. They're 10 LED light bulbs. LED light bulbs. They're about this big. I think they're all 60 watts. They last for 10 years each. They are free. We are giving away light bulbs. Today is Friday, not doing it today, but starting next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, if you come to my school, which is Detroit Community Schools, you don't have to live in the neighborhood. You don't have to have a student that's enrolled at my building. All you have to do is be a person that can come and get light bulbs, 10 in a pack, and you have electricity on in your house. And lights run out. Just last week, I usually have light bulbs stashed in the cabinet and in the pantry and wherever, and light in the front room blew out, and I started looking for the replacement light bulb, and I had used them all up over the years. Well, I remembered that I had a couple of boxes of LED light bulbs in my car. For those of you that know me, you know my car, the moment I get it, the next day, the back seat, you can't see it anymore because I've got supplies, all kind of things in there in the trunk. Might as well not even have one. I got things in there loaded up. So I remembered that I had 2 boxes of LED light bulbs, and I went right out there in my robe, in my pajamas, in my kerchief. You know how you put the kerchief on your head. I had all that and went outside and got me a box and put it in, jump right on. Now, if you're interested in 1 box, 2 boxes, 3 boxes, 4 boxes, I can give an individual up to 5 boxes of light bulbs. So that means you'll have 50. And you can give them, they make wonderful gifts because they're functional. You need light bulbs. It's like toilet paper. The only place you can use it is wherever, and then you throw it away. Okay, so these are light bulbs. The only place they work is in the light socket. All right? So if you need those, you have to leave a message at my job, and I'm out on Burt Road in Brightmoor, 313-537-3570. 537-3570, extension 200. And you have to come between the hours of 9 and 3. After 3 o'clock, can't do it anymore. Before 9 o'clock, can't do it anymore. So if you call, somebody's ringing your bell. If you call and tell me that you're coming, even if you don't get me, you tell whoever answers the phone that Miss Taylor invited me to come to Detroit Community Schools to get some light bulbs. They will write down your name and your phone number, and you'll let them know, got it, you'll let them know what time you're coming so we can give you those. My engineer is telling me that it's time to go. It has been a blast. I always have a good time when I come to WHPR. And I want to tell you again, you wrote down those phone numbers, share them with folks that need the help. And until next time, my name is Maureen Taylor. I work with the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization. And until next Friday, what Mary and I always say is goodbye.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabree. We are living through unprecedented times with a global pandemic now approaching its 3rd year. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. To see if you qualify, please visit. Call 313-388-9799 or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.